Yo, welcome back here. Shout out to everybody. Up against 61 card Alvatar. I feel like I've played against Alvatar before. Back here with we'll keep this. Retreat to Coralhelm, modern combo deck. The last two matches have. I'm going to start with Sajiri Step so we can play Breeding Pool and then have a fetch land at the ready. Last two matches have seriously exceeded my expectations. In this deck's competitiveness, also and just the kind of magic that you want to play. I mean, Wild Nacatl, okay. Just really enjoyable, two really enjoyable, very close matches so far. Okay, I'm gonna go with Lotus Cobra. Waiting for a holding remand, also an option, but I would rather advance our board here. So it looks like we're playing against something like the last round. I generally prefer to get more variety, but well, it looks like it's different. It's more of a well, that's definitely interesting. First of all, it's a lot of damage. I'm gonna start with no. I don't want to start with Serum Visions. I want to start with a Flooded Strand, and maybe this is very difficult. I'm gonna start with Serum Visions. So the reason to start with Flooded Strand is so we can. Alright, we don't really want either of these. The reason to start with Flooded Strand would be so that we could not have to shuffle away a good card. Okay, so get a green. We can really do it all this turn. Get a green, get a Birds of Paradise. And we can play Path to Exile and Remand. Although at this point, I'm thinking about offering a trade. Yeah, I'm gonna offer a trade. Okay. We're not gonna block with the Cobra. The damage could be useful. Plans on pathing the Quasili Pride Mage, and then casting Remand, given an opportunity. Alright, I'm just gonna path this thing now. Could path the larger creature. Well, either way, it's gonna be attacking for 3, so the Pride Mage makes the most sense. Also, it's threatening our Retreat to Coralhelm, which is very much our victory condition. However, right now we're already down to 11 life. And the opponent has 6 cards in hand, so it's a scary situation. And you can bet that they're going to get use out of that. I'm actually going to let that resolve. This way. This way we can play Retreat to Coralhelm, use Flooded Strand to tap Wild Nacatl. Retreat to Coralhelm. So we can tap their largest creature, and we can remand on this turn. And then hopefully, hope for a miracle, really. Is this the same opponent, actually? Could this be the same opponent? I took a 1.5 hour lunch break between the last match, so I guess it would be quite the chance. We want a basic Plains. Tap the Wild Nacatl. We have a good amount of mana, but we're on the brink of death. take a hit here. Hopefully, I mean, if there's a Gore Clan Rampager, hope to see the opponent tap 4 mana for Gore Clan Rampager, which gives us a big juicy remand target. Untap, draw Knight of the Reliquary and a Path to Exile. Although, yeah, we haven't seen Lightning Bolt yet. If the opponent had it, maybe they would have used it on one of our mana critters. Hard to know. Or maybe they're saving it. Eidolon of the Great Revel, that must be remanded. Well, I guess we could have potentially got a tapped land and used the birds for this mana. But I like having 2 basics in play so that we can, play an untapped Cinderglade or whatever. Alright, well, we really need to draw a Knight or a Wargate here. Birds of Paradise, not the card. Scry. Use the mana to play a birds. If we had a Gavany Township, we could actually be in decent shape here. Path to Exile, put that on the bottom. That's not going to win us the game. Attack with the Cobra, not yet ready to chump with that. We have a few birds to jump in front of the bus, take one for the team if necessary. Lightning Bolt, alright. Well, we're dead many ways over, I think. But we have gotten steamrolled in game 1, both the last 2 matches, and then have come back and win. So maybe we can make that happen again. Double chump blocked, could have single chumped. Retreat to Coralhelm, I concede. Good game. Sideboarding. Yeah, the Finks and the Scavenging Ooze. A few ways to gain some incremental life. Finks, Scavenging Ooze, Spellskite, Kira. No, I don't know if I like Kira so much here. Gonna cut the remands. I actually like hard counters. Trading 1 for 1 whenever possible is actually good. Maybe we want Pride Mage or Reclamation Sage to blow up Pithing Needle, but don't have the actual scouting report. Alright, we're back for game 2. And this draw is quite good. So could lead with, I'm gonna lead with an Honored Hierarch, which will probably result in, well, this is a tough call. Honored Hierarch is at best gonna trade. Or is either gonna trade or get in. If we play Birds of Paradise, we can play Lotus Cobra and Spellskite and Honored Hierarch next turn with a burst of mana, so I guess I'm gonna go with the birds. And maybe one day Honored Hierarch can get in, or maybe we can Wargate for the Gavany Township, or for the Kitchen Finks, or for the Scavengers, whatever it takes. But this is a pretty good start. Maybe this gets bolted, that would be certainly annoying. Although, trading cards and not trading life, I'm okay with. Yeah, so the Honored Hierarch would not have gotten in. Or it would have, with Path to Exile. Start with the Lotus Cobra, and then we could Wargate for Gavany Township on this turn and play Honored Hierarch. That'd be a really interesting play. Or we could play Spellskite and Honored Hierarch, which I think I prefer, and we can save the Wargate for a blue. We're gonna get a basic plains with this one. Blue, use this ability for a green. Play an Honored Honored Hierarch. Play a Spellskite, and we've got a good board in play. Spellskite should soak up some damage. And we have options of how to use this Wargate. I do like Wargating for Gavany Township, potentially. If we draw another land, maybe we want to get Kitchen Finks. But one way to win this matchup is to take over the ground, and Township seems to be really our best hope of doing that. Loam Lion is fine. We have Spellskite to block. I want to hold off on using this Path to Exile for as long as possible. Either get a Gore Clan Rampager or an Atarka's Command or something like that. Otherwise, it is going to let the opponent dump their hand, and we want to make them take their time deploying their hand. Nice. Well, Honored Hierarch, Temple Garden. So we could get a Kitchen Finks. If we get a Kitchen Finks, we're going to be still pretty dependent on the top of our deck. If we get Gavany Township, then we can kind of draw whatever. So I'm going to get Gavany Township, hold up Path to Exile. And this way we can either draw Gas or Township to try to stabilize this board. 1, 2, 3. Use this ability for a blue mana, blue, green, white, Wargate for Gavany Township. Could have done it for at most 2 only. For Gavany Township. 1, 2, 3. We almost could have Township even on this turn. And I'm gonna wait on the Path to Exile. Use it on our own creature, potentially. Break up a Gore Clan Rampager combo. Still at 18 life is healthy. Hoping to draw a Scavenging Ooze or a Kitchen Finks or a Wargate. Although Knight of the Reliquary would be fine. It's got a big body at this point. Or not. Relic of Progenitus does bust our combo up. But fortunately we're on different game plan here. Okay, here comes the Swarm. We will block the Loam Lion because we have Core Firewalker for these, and I'm gonna wait on Path to Exile. We have enough life that I would still prefer to try to. I'm gonna pay 4 life on this. Still would prefer to try to. Although we'll see, we might be short on mana on this turn. Not short on mana. 5. 3. Use Cobra's ability. Yes. White. 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna Gavany Township. So we have Spellskite for one of these, Cobra for another, and then I'm gonna let the other through and we'll path it if we have to. I'm gonna take the opportunity to flip our Honored Hierarch. Although, we do need to be concerned about Path to Exile and Lightning Bolt from the opponent. Opponent down to 12, and we actually have a good amount of damage on the field. Relic, exile the Wargate. Opponent with 3 cards. Us at 10 life. Ready to fight with Path. They have plenty of mana at this point, so I don't mind pulling the trigger on this. Experiment 1 with only 1 card left. Very interesting. And I think I'm going to continue to wait on the Path to Exile, because with us at 8 life, we're well out of reach of burn, so I want to make sure that we don't get blown out by a Gore Clan Rampager, which might happen on this turn. And here it is. Dramoka's command. How does this work? Change a target of target spell or ability to Spellskite. We can change, we put a +1 counter on this. What's happening? This one fights this one. Is it possible that we can tap for a blue and put the +1 counter? Oh, change a target of target spell. I don't know how that combo works. I'm just gonna blow it up. Path the Loam Lion. I'm not exactly sure how Spellskite works. But opponent's out of cards. We're safely at 8 life. We're threatening the opponent 8, 9, 10. We could attack for 12 and force a chump block. Not sure that I want to do that. We could put out we could put out a Knight of the Reliquary, which is ultimately just going to be a 2/2. Or we could move in on Hierarch. So we attack with everything, we force a chump block, but we're dead to certain top decks. Instead, I'm going to keep back all our blockers. As many blockers as we possibly can have. And block with everything that we can. Opponent with no cards, so yeah, they can draw. It would take more than one Gore Clan Rampager to beat us. It would take a Gore Clan I'm not even sure if a Rampager and a Lightning Bolt would do it. We have a lot of toughness to put in front of these things. We can put 4, 6, 5, 6 damage, 2. Yeah, even it would take two Gore Clan Rampagers. Otherwise, we're forcing a third game. Not really playing it like a combo deck here, instead like a Wild and a Cattle, okay. Instead playing out like a... Yeah, well, Honored Hierarch showing its worth in this game, surprisingly. Somewhat surprisingly. Quasi Pride Mage, okay. Well, in that case, we should be able to win. Although Pride Mage can blow up our Spellskite, which is annoying. Misty Rainforest. I'm into it. 1, use this ability, make a green. This way we can play our Knight of the Reliquary first. So Pride Mage can jump in front of the Honored Hierarch, blow up the Spellskite. Is what I'm seeing. And Birds of Paradise, we could put in with the Lotus Cobra, but I think that having as many blockers as we can in this situation, since we have non-lethal attacks, and by tapping the birds, then we're forcing chump blocks, it seems better to once again delay for. Alright, let us take out a wild Nakatul. 5, 1, 2. It's going to 7. Is this suicidal? Breeding Pool. Stomping Ground. Not pay 2 life. Get some mana get some black mana. Township. Trade 1 for 1. Maybe the birds should have come in to threaten to win on the next turn, but I'm still concerned about dying if the opponent draws the wrong thing. A Gore Clan Rampager, still not lethal. Serum Vision's gonna play that. So we have Sure, a cheap creature actually seems like a good draw. So we have Knight of the Reliquary. We could use it to get a Sajiri Step if we wanted to, or a Kessig Wolf Run. We could use it to get a Kessig Wolf Run and win in the air with birds. But I'm gonna use the Knight. Again, it's a tough call. Once again, I'm not gonna make a move. So my reasoning is, on the following turn, we can Knight for Wolf Run and we can Knight for Wolf Run now and then Sajiri Step and finish in the air with birds on the next turn. And this way, we're not at all exposed. On this turn, we have as many blockers. We could have gone for the kill on that turn, but it may have gotten blown up. I don't know. I'm more of a conservative player generally, so that's just how I like to play it. All right, crack this thing. Get a Kessig Wolf Run, and finish in the air. There's a Flooded Strand. Make a mana. Use this ability, make a red, green, Kessig Wolf Run. This X is 1, 2, 3. So we have a 7-power flyer coming in, and we have Knight of the Reliquary to get a Sajiri Step to protect it from a Path to Exile. So that should do it. And on to game 3. Fascinating game so far. Had a lot of fun. I definitely feel smarter for having done this. So thanks to everyone who voted for this deck. It's really a fun type of deck that has multiple routes to victory, which I always like to play. As you decide, there's a lot of decisions with this deck. Alright, we're back. We are back for the last game of the video set, win or lose. We've got a decent draw. We've got Core Firewalker here. My hope is to see some red creatures so we can get some value from it. And then the question here is, how do we want to use our mana? Do we want to lead with Honored Hierarch? I think not. I want to not take that damage. It doesn't seem like the Hierarch is either going to get in yet or is going to be good at blocking. So I think we're going to want to have that 2 life. Instead, I want to make sure we can play Core Firewalker on the second turn. Although it may be useless. Really hoping to see a red creature. None yet. Crack this thing, get a green and a white mana. On the following turn, play the basic plains. We're already taking a whooping. Galvany Township is interesting. I'm going to stick with the plan of Core Firewalker. Although we might even need to trade it. We'll see how this plays out. We go Cobra into Honored Hierarch, and then Galvany Township from there. Again, we have, hopefully we just draw a Kitchen Finks in this turn. Interesting. I'm thinking about trading. I'm going to trade. We don't know that the opponent even has red creatures. In general, in this matchup, there's a Curd Ape. Alright, well, Firewalker's in the graveyard. Can't undo that. It's gone. In general, trading and Vexing Devil. Yeah, okay. So, probably not a good trade. It didn't turn out very well. Sajiri Step play a Lotus Cobra and a breeding pool and a lag honored hierarch. And yeah, we're in a lot of trouble. Opponent still has 3 cards. We don't have a lot of life to work with. Take the hit here. At least we can Gavany Township on this fall, or we should be able to Gavany Township on this following turn, but we could really use an extra blocker. Interesting. There's another land, which is not the extra blocker thing we were looking for. Use this ability for a white mana. Gavany Township. And then we could attack with Honored Hierarch, but I want to use it to discourage that experiment one. Probably dead. However, the last 2 matches I had conceded, and we came back, so we ought to not call it over yet. And I'm not even sure if that trade was necessarily wrong, even knowing that 2 red creatures came after. Definitely need to block 1. Can't really go to 2 life there. Knight of the Reliquary. This thing doesn't have Renown. The problem with Knight is because of the relic. Oh, that's not actually necessarily a problem, because we have another fetch land and it forces us to go to 3 to use. But we have 2 blockers, and whether the opponent exiles Relic or not, Knight's going to be a 3/3 when it comes time to block. And Honored High. The opponent, if they had a creature, they would have played it. They're holding a land, and I don't know what the last card is. Hoping it's a land as well. Although, I mean, you look at our hand, there's a lot of flood on both sides. Path to Exile. Alright, that's going to make this game... It's going to make this game pretty hard to win. Opponent has no cards left, though. Taking the hit for 2. Looking for a Kitchen Finks or Scavenging. I don't know if Scavenging uses even the card. Wargate is fine. Another Honored Hierarch. Another Honored Hierarch. We'll play it. 3, 4, 5. It seems like we're going to need to fetch anyways to go to 1. We'll have a 3/3 and a 2/2. If the opponent draws just straight consecutive lands, we still have a chance. I'm going to play a Misty Rainforest. Can't afford to attack. Relic. Well, I don't want the opponent to crack that. I want them to keep the Relic in play, because I don't want them to have extra cards in hand. That Relic is really not doing anything right now. And our life's very much hanging in the balance. Alright. Seems like they're unbelievably flooded. Another experiment one. In that case, do we want to go to 1 life? We could go to 1 life to Gavany Township, and we'll have a 3/3 and a 2/2, but then we absolutely, I'm going to do it. We have to draw a creature on this turn. But otherwise, I mean, we pretty much need to draw something anyways. And we just need to hope for things to go right, as much to go right. We'll draw a Kitchen Finks or a Wargate or something. There's a Knight, so far so good. Green, blue, white, I want to leave up double white to imply that we have, well, we don't really have the mana to, okay, we need to tap white. Play knight. I guess I'm going to play Sajiri step. And things are precarious. Burn, Rampager, and we're dead. Things are precarious. The opponent doesn't play a whole lot of lands, so... yeah, I like the knight draw because it encourages the opponent to keep Relic of Progenitus in play. Wild Nikatl, alright, and that beefs up the evolving, or the experiment ones. So we're once again down to a do or die top deck. Creature or bust. Creature or bust. Oh, that's interesting. Now we don't actually need to draw a creature. Because we're going to trade, but we're going to keep an Honored Hierarch to the opponent's Wild Nikatl. Still at 1 life is very precarious. Okay, well that eased up the pressure on us. Still really want to draw a Kitchen Finks. Birds of Paradise is not bad. Ship the turn. Hope the opponent continues to not use that relic. Thank goodness. This game is razor's edge close. I don't expect to win. Alright, finally they're drawing cards. 1 life. Razor's edge. If we could draw anything right now, Path to Exile, actually. I'm curious how this game would have played out differently if we had... oh, we're dead. We're dead? Target's command. GG's. Thanks for watching. Again, really dependent on support from Patreon, and I'm giving out some cool stuff. Ebook is almost ready to drop, and we'll do some review your deck and stuff like that. So click the link below, or just silent support, as always, is appreciated. Thank you so much. Really fun matches, really close games. So take care, all of y'all.